This first product here is actually in the new product showcase area. This is from Pure Fishing. It's an Abu Garcia Max X Spincast combo. I know I've got a couple different pictures of this specific product here, but this is a youth combo. So you can kind of see here from the front, it is a Spincast is what this is called. So it's a Spincast, so think Zebco, except it's got the button on the back to make it feel a little bit closer to a bait cast reel. This is a youth reel on a youth rod, but this thing felt really nice in the hand. For those that have kids that want to get into the sport or interested in it, this could be a really good option for you. They had the price there before. $39.99 for the combo, which is pretty great. It felt good in the hand. It has, I think it only has 2 bearings in it, but I think that's fine. I want to say it has 6-pound test line pre-spooled on it, but this thing looks pretty cool. Obviously, you're not breaking the bank on it, but it is a pretty nice looking setup. If you have a kid that is interested in getting into it, this could be pretty awesome. It looks pretty fancy. You see the Max X on the side. Pretty fancy thing here. You can see all silver rod. Really basic. All right. This is the second one that I want to talk to you about. This is also in the new showcase area. This is the Samar HBF 500A. So this is going to replace the CBF series from Okuma, their bait feeder series that if you are an ice fisherman, you probably use the CBF series. This is going to replace it. It's the HBF. It has a new drive mechanism on it. The spinning of it is really, really smooth. This is a really nice reel. It is a budget-friendly reel. I want to say it's probably around $50 to $60. But this is a nice ice fishing reel. This is a 500 series or a size 50 that you're looking at here. And of course, you've got your mechanism in the back for your bait feeder to go on and off. And then you've got anti-reverse on the bottom. You've just got some nice coloring on it. So kind of that gunmetal gray color to it. This is where you can set your drag for your bait feeder. And then your normal is obviously in the front. This thing looked pretty sick. I'm going to pick a couple up this year and really compare them to the CBF series that I've got now. But I expect these to be pretty dang awesome. And then this is the card for it. Okay, I was wrong. $79.99, but I'm sure they're going to go on sale. So 7 ball bearings and 1 RB stainless steel bearings. I don't know what RB stands for. I'm not a big reel guy. All I know is what I like and what works really well. But yeah, so the compact reel features an on-off auto trip bait feeding system. So if you're not familiar with that, it will be on, and once you start reeling, it automatically flips to off, ensuring that seamless transition. Otherwise, it'll just kind of keep running. The nice thing about this versus just having your spool open is free spool. Obviously, slowing it down is hard if they're on a run without using your hand, which is not the best way because you can actually snap your line by doing that. And then you're not going to get a bunch of tangles from having an open spool either, which is pretty dang great. All right, this is a product also in the when I did the voting, I went back through in some of these categories I didn't really look that closely at while I was there yesterday. So today I looked at them. This is one of the products from Acme Tackle. This is their ice fishing tip up. If you didn't know, Acme does this. I post about it on my Facebook page, so check out my Facebook page if you haven't already. They do a design contest for tip ups every single year. This is the design that won last year. So what it looks like is they put like a sheet of paper, a PDF that they upload, and anybody that wants to enter can. And essentially, you win a prize. I think you win one of these, and then you get maybe a little something else from them as well, maybe a little care package. But everybody just fills it out. It's a PDF. You can draw on it. You can color on it. You can do a digital design. But you are essentially putting your design in, and then they will choose the best design that they like. This is what is it called? The Snot Rocket. So obviously, after Pike, it's actually pretty cool looking. It looks better in person. The pictures don't do it justice. And then you've got a black Snot Rocket flag on it. Kind of cool if you're into ice fishing. This is for $54.99. They usually carry them around for a couple of years, but every year they come out with a new design, which is inspired by, actually fully copied for the most part, by people that enter in their designs. Of course, if it's a really cool design, but it needs a little bit of design help, they've got designers that can help out with that. One of the other things that I looked at here, let me flip forward here, is this Kayak. This is a fully pre-rigged kayak, super durable and heavy duty. I was looking at this. This thing looks awesome. This is one of the products that I voted for in the new product showcase in the boating category. They've got hatches here that you can put storage in. Otherwise, these double as live wells if you want to. You've got, of course, your full hatch up front. You've got your seat in here, which is really nice. It is a fully 360-degree swivelable seat. It does go up, forward, and backwards. You've got a mounting block here to put any electronics that you want, pre-wiring in there. And then you've got a trolling motor, bow mount trolling motor hook up here. And you've even got a plate on the front here that you saw in one of the previous pictures where you can put your bow mount trolling motor. You've got handles up front. And you can see here 12.7 feet long. If you're a kayak guy or gal, this would be probably interesting to you. There's a ton of kayaks here. I didn't get to that section of the show today. I will make sure that I get there tomorrow because there's some really freaking sweet ones. I can't wait to get the videos on them. 38 inches in width, which is really nice. 158 pounds dry weight and a 600-pound capacity. So this is definitely a heavier one. You can see all the features here, but this was a pretty cool product that I did vote for. I had somebody on the channel last night ask me to check this out. This is the bent butt, and then they also have a straight one as well. This is from Dominion. This is the E-Rod with integrated power supply. So inside of this handle here that you're seeing is actually a battery. You can see the carbon fiber weave on it. We'll see what it actually says here. 30,000 to 60,000 of line retrieval per charge. So essentially what this is, patent pending E-Rod bent butt is designed to power electric reels for deep dropping, high-speed trolling, dredges, teasers, and everything in between. So you would hook up your rod to this. This is the butt handle for your rod with an electric reel on it. And then you would plug your reel into this cord here. And then you've got power running right through it. And then you've got a button here on the reel for it to work. It felt really good in the hand. This is not the type of fishing that I do, so I can't see myself using it, and I'm not an expert in it, but somebody did want me to check it out, and it does look pretty sweet. I could imagine if I'm doing this type of trolling and using those types of reels, this would for sure be something that I would want to check out. IP67 rated, 14.5 volt power supply, 5 amp hour and 10 amp hour models available. I don't know which model this was. It might actually say right here. Has a price of $1,295, but I don't know. I would hopefully assume that's the 10 amp hour. But that was one of the products there that somebody wanted me to check out, so it was featured in the show. So it's going to tell you a little bit more about it here, and scan this QR code if you want to learn more about it. You should be able to just hold your phone up to the screen and scan that, and you'll be good to go. All right, let's move on to the next product here. So this is something, I believe it's been released from Yak Attack for a little while now. So this is the leaderboard. This is their bump board. Yak Attack creates a lot of things for kayak fishermen, but this is a bump board that you can obviously use in your boat as well. Any type of tournament fishing, this type of thing, even if it's like a fish donkey or an online tournament, it's incredibly important that you have a manufactured quality bump board that will actually get you the measurements that you need to be able to qualify for a lot of those online tournaments. And what's really cool about this is it's got these things flip down, but you can put 2 ID cards here, 2 ID cards there. They fold in half and then they fold flat to the back. You've got a front bump here. This is where you bump the nose of your fish, the mouth of your fish with the mouth closed. And it's got a mirror surface on it, which is really cool. So it's really easy to tell if it is mouth closed and it is touching, which is pretty great. You've got your graduations for 1/4 inches all the way throughout. And then you've got 3 of these stops. I think they're called call tags is what they call them. So that way you can mark the 3. I think there were only 3 on this. I don't know if they have up to 5 that you can put in there, if you can get more. But you just slide those along on the board so you can mark what your biggest fish were. So if like you're in a tournament situation and you have a bag of 3 or a bag of 5 that you can have, and it's length based, obviously you'd bump it. If it's not meeting or upgrading one of your fish, you would then go ahead and just toss it back and not even worry about taking a picture. So this is pretty cool, and it goes up to 28 inches. Here's the placard card thing that they've got here, 28-inch measuring board. Of course, they've got a lot of holders and different things for it. Pretty cool. I use a different bump board. I use bump boards from Muskie Bumpers that I absolutely love. When I was using my kayak, I had a catch board is what I used. This was not out yet on the market. Otherwise, I probably would have given this a shot. It is a plastic bump board, and it feels plastic. That's the one thing I don't really care for. I wish it was like an aluminum one, but I get why they did this, and it does float, which is really nice. One thing that I thought was interesting about this is we'll see what they win if they win. I think they did the award ceremony after I left, so the awards will either be posted tonight or tomorrow online for the different categories that you vote for. But I did notice this is in a product category of non-motorized boating accessories rather than just accessories, which I thought was kind of interesting for a bump board, but it is what it is. All right, we'll go ahead and keep moving here. One other thing, if you are a kayak fisherman or a boat fisherman and want to have a backup kit with you, this is what they call a kayak light kit from Guardian Angel. I thought this was pretty awesome. You can either wear it on you. You can do white, red, or green. It's waterproof, rechargeable, durable, exceeds the U.S. Coast Guard 2+ nautical mile visibility. And so what's nice is you could buy this kit. It comes with a remote, and then it comes with, I believe, 2 of these. So one for the front of your boat or kayak and one for the rear. So if like your back white light goes out or your front navigation lights in terms of your green and red that you need to have on your boat, you can suction this to the front. You can put it on a mount. You could do magnets. There's a lot of different things that you can do. I talked to the company today to see if they had any that were actually just a replacement for the kind of the poles and the sockets that you already have on your boat, because that's what I want. And they said they might be working on that. But as of right now, they primarily are focused on the kayak fishing community, but are thinking of ways in order to get it over into the boating community. You can, of course, do it. There's no reason you can't, because it does meet the U.S. Coast Guard restrictions, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is not a new product in the new product showcase category. However, I was looking at these. I'm jumping ahead of myself here, and these look freaking awesome. It's the ITX CB. This is the 3000 HA. It's got carbon fiber handle on it, carbon fiber on the bottom of the reel, or I guess you could say on the top of the reel before you get to the spool. This thing is super light. They got a bunch of different sizes, as you can see here. You can see the top of this spool here even has carbon fiber on it. Really smooth reels. Tomorrow I got to check, or I'm sure they might even be available online to see how much these are. In fact, I'm going to Google it right now. ITX CB 3000 HA. It looks like Tackle Warehouse has this for sale right now for $159.99. So actually not too crazy of a deal. I might pick 1 or 2 of those up. I normally run Daiwa Tatulas, which are more expensive than this. But this was actually a really impressive reel. I'll link all these things down below sometime in the next few days here when I kind of get back through to the video. So in case you want to check it out, but I was really impressed with that reel. All right. For those of you that are interested in ice fishing stuff, I stopped by the Clam booth. Yes, that's right. This is the second year Clam Outdoors has a booth at ICAST, and I talked to them about a bunch of their new products. I'll just set the record and say this is not all of their new products. I got their catalog, for the 2024-2025 season, which I think has everything in it. I'll do either a stream coming up here or a video, probably both. At least a video dedicated to all of their new ice fishing gear coming out. Should probably have maybe Matt Johnson, if he's willing to come on again, talk about it, or somebody else from the company. I think that went really well last time. But these are some of the baits that they have brand new this year. So I will, let me see if I can get, I don't know. No, we're going to talk about some of them here, and then we'll, some of the pictures I must have later on in the roll here. So you've got the Pinhead Pro PT. What's new about these is, if you can see here, they've got a few new color patterns. So the colors that they had last year, were up here. And what's new this year is, I think they call it the Koi series, which has the black speckled in it. The black speckled, that's inside of the coloring of these. These are all zinc lures. What's interesting about them is it's not manufactured into it. They're all unique. So they add that on after, and they add it all on. So that way it's just random how it goes on these things. And so everyone is unique. You could line 4 of them up and none of them will look exactly the same, which is pretty cool. They did the same thing with the Rattlin PT. This is one of my favorite lures, especially for ice fishing, from Clam. I absolutely love these. So last year, these first 4 were the Rattlin PTs that they had launched earlier in the year last year. So they have the silver, the gold. I don't remember what they call this one, like a perch pattern. And then they had this reddish pink one. And so same thing here. They added in the speckled color of the black on here. They call it the Koi. I think it's called Koi, which is new this year. And the colored treble hooks. Don't miss the colored treble hooks. Those are now on them this year as well. One of the things that they said was these treble hooks that were on them, if you got some bigger fish or some feistier fish, they'd actually bend or break pretty frequently, which is not a good thing. They said that once they put the coloring on them, they have a tendency to be a lot more durable, which I thought was really interesting. Obviously, they fished with these last year. They always fish with the stuff they're going to release the next year, or almost always the year before. So like this season, they won't be testing these because they used them last year. They may use them to fish with them, but they'll be testing whatever they're going to tell us about for next year, this year. So you can, I think, take their word pretty credibly. I think these look awesome. I told them I think these will be some of your best sellers in terms of baits this year that you're going to sell, being the Rattlin PT and that new colorway, which I think is pretty awesome. They've got the Psycho Shad. This is a new a bait that's coming back from them, a new one. And so you've got the 2 treble hooks on here, kind of that pill style body, which is pretty awesome. And then I've got more better pictures coming up here. But the Niku plastics, the second 2 that are on here. So these are just a bunch of the different, all of the different colors that are available here. But if I zoom in here, the last 2 here, so the 2 on the right, those were co-created in cooperation with Crappie Chronicles crew. And then the 2 on the left were from All Terrain Tackle, Clam Pro Tackle, Clam Outdoors, like the parent company, and the brilliant engineers that they have pulled all of these ones together. So kind of cool the way that they have done that. And then there's a couple other ones here on the left that we'll get to in an upcoming photo. Also this year, I think I teased this out yesterday a little bit, but the Rise V3 suit. This is a upgraded, obviously, V3 suit that they came out with this year. In terms of on the jacket, what's new is it now has a removable hood. This is one of their highest volume selling float suits. If you didn't know, it is a float suit. It is insulated in thermal. So they now have a removable hood, and they have a ton of pockets. So there are the 2 breast pockets here. There's 2 hidden, I forget what he called them, but there's 2 hidden pockets that are back here that are kind of like the side chest pocket type thing underneath those that have zippers on them. So you have 4 up there. And then down here, you have the bigger pockets that kind of go over where your hands normally go. And these are huge on the bottom, so you can fit a lot in these. And then, of course, you have your normal pockets like you'd have in a jacket that slip in behind there. So there's 8 there. Then there's some more inside of the jacket as well. This zipper that we're looking at here is a ventilation zipper. So if you're getting really hot, you can open those up on either side, and then you can get a little bit of ventilation in. I don't remember if there was anything else, but that is primarily the changes to the jacket. I've got, I think, another picture or two coming up here where I'll tell you a little bit more about the bibs as well. But the bibs, they added in, I think, the belt loops here. I think those are new. So that way you can either use the belt that they have, which allows you to take some of the pressure off of your shoulders from the straps pulling down, if that's where you get fatigued a lot, which is pretty interesting. And then they also have those there in case you're going out on really early ice. What you can do is you can tie a rope around that and then tie it to your truck, tie it to a tree or something on shore. So that way you are tied to something and have that rope in case anything horrible were to happen, which I thought was kind of a unique use of those. These are reinforced loops, like stitched super strong. Of course, you wouldn't just like have somebody winch you out with that. You would use your hands, but that way it's attached to you in case something bad were to happen, like you fall into the water and you need to get out of it. It's nice to have that rope then at that point, which is kind of interesting. And then they upgraded the padding in the legs and a couple other things too. All right, next up, Clam teased this out. I had somebody from the channel here ask me this question, and so I looked. This is one of the products. There's a bunch of new products in the Clam catalog that I need to go through, and then we'll hop on a stream or a video, and I'll go through all of the new things. But this is one of them. It's the Clam Lock Power Center. They kind of previewed this in one of their posts. I think it was yesterday. And so you can fit, ideally use with the 7 to 9 amp hour battery. The batteries are not included. It has 2 USB ports on the top, one 12-volt cigarette plug on the top, a voltage meter, a SAE plug for charging, a set of post terminals, a positive and a negative. It's Clam Lock compatible to be mobile. It has a master power switch, and it can be attached to a wide range of places, hub shelters, a bunch of different places, especially if you have the Clam Lock system, and easily switch out to other Clam Lock accessories. So I think this is actually pretty cool. If you already have a battery tray, because you can kind of see it's the battery tray behind it there. If you already have a battery tray that you're going to be putting in your shelter, why not throw this thing on it? And then you got all these ports and everything. It's just clean, it's simple, and it's easy. I'm going to put this probably in my flip over, my one-man flip over, because why not? I mean, how nice is it just to have access to all of that stuff right there at your fingertips? And all you got to do is hook up to the battery. You don't got to wire any of this stuff up. You don't need the voltage converter to get to 12 volt. You don't need to do any of that stuff. So pretty cool. Clam Lock Power Center this year hitting the ice near you. Okay. This is another youth product that I thought was pretty cool. It is called Create a Lure. They've got the Muskie edition. They've got the whatever that is edition, the 6-pack edition. And so essentially what it is you get these boxes in the mail, and then you get to paint your own. So anybody that has kids or anything like that, and you're looking to have them get into creating their own lures, it's a pretty cool kit for them to be able to create and design their own custom lures that they want to be using. So I thought that was pretty cool, a unique take on getting your kids into it and getting into lure making right away. So that's that. A couple more pictures there. You can see the paint on me here. You can see their website, northernlightstoys.com. And so you can see a couple of hard baits here that come in this box. All right, Buzbe, I stopped by. I filmed the video. They've got quite a few new things out this year. One of those products is this guy right here. So it is the foam inner that right now I think they're selling just separately. They'll come out with some bundles later on, it sounds like. But it allows you to put them in the bottom of the trays, so that way you can put jigs in there and organize that way. Spoon, I mean, whatever you want, you can put in there. But it's got the slits for it, which I thought was pretty cool. Boomerang company, you saw yesterday on the stream. And if you didn't catch last night's stream, we went through the new product showcase. You're going to want to watch that video. Go check it out after this one's over. But from the Boomerang Tool Company, they've got a few different accessories now that are attached to it. So this one right here is called the Pro Grip Paddle and Rod Leash. So like if you're kayaking, for instance, and this isn't just for kayaking, but just one use case is if you're kayaking, you can throw your rod on here. It extends up to, I think it's 3 feet. So you can actually use the kayak paddle. So that way you're not losing the paddle in the water, which I thought was pretty cool. And then it's just on a kind of carabiner clip there for you to clip it on. The other thing you'll see rod leash here is if you have a kid that you're worried about them losing that rod in the water, you can actually put this green end around the rod and then clip it to their life jacket. So in case they decide to drop their rod in the water, it is attached to them and you can just go ahead and pull it back out, which I thought was like super awesome. I now have a kid, so now I got to be thinking about that stuff, I guess. These are some really bad pictures, but look forward to the video coming out because I've got a video coming out on it. Aqua-Vu has a new product. This is for the boat or for in like a an ice fishing house if you have a TV or something hooked up to it. It's just this little box here. I know it's hard to see because it's super dark. I apologize. And it's just got one button for power and one button here depending on the output that you want to use. You can either do HDMI out or you can do CVBS, which is either an RCA connection or like a BNC type plug. And then you've got power to it. What's underneath this? That's right. You've got a full HD camera from Aqua-Vu. And the idea here is exactly how you see it. Put it on the rail, on the tracks, on the gunwale of your boat. Drop it down in the way that they've got it set up here in your boat. This is a Lowrance screen that you can see here. Let me take a drink here so I can not lose my voice. This is a Lowrance screen, but Humminbird and Garmin also have screens that take video in, either RCA connection, BNC, or HDMI. They are the higher end screens, but the idea here is you can drop a camera down super fast down the side of your boat. You want to see structure. You want to see what those fish are that are down there. You want to watch your lure. You want to do any of that. You can now do it and just use the one screen that you already have in your boat. If you're an ice fisherman and you have a rental house, a permanent house, you have a TV or something like that in your house that you have now, you can plug into the TV with HDMI and also use this rather than having to buy a more expensive product that has a screen built into it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Here's another view of some of the Clam Pro tackle that they've got out here. All right, so in the first 2 rows of the Clam Pro tackle is the confetti drop. These are tungsten jigs. Okay, so these are brand new tungsten jigs that they came out with this year, and you can see some of them are your normal coloring pattern, and then some of them, which were harder to see, is you do have a little bit of the fleck in the bottom. The white dots are glow as well. I realized my pictures are not very good. I did a better job with video today, I promise you, than I did with these pictures. And then you've got the Tikka Flash next to that. The Tikka Flash is the same thing where you've got the colored treble hooks on these, and then some of them with that koi fleck on them as well, kind of that black speckled. Here's a picture where you can see a little bit more of the black speckle that's on some of these lures here. These ones are a little bit out of focus. I had my f-stop a little too low. Here's, you can see some of the black that's on these. These are the Rattlin PTs. I think these are going to be awesome this year. Obviously, they rattle. I like the color. I asked him, I'm like, do you have any with red hooks? And he said, no, but they do have some of the OGs from last year that do have red treble hooks. I wish they had red treble hooks, but he said that there were a lot of people that wanted the kind of the fluorescent ones. So it's like, okay, well, you got the bright color, so that's good. Some of the cycle shads, the Niku plastics that we had talked about already. Clam is obviously releasing some of that information on it. All right. They also have a new clam bag. This is a redesigned clam bag. So if you are a live Sonar user for ice fishing, this bag is redesigned for their new shuttle that they have this year. It fits a live transducer on the side, and it's got an updated front to it here as well. They've got a new pole. So this is a live imaging pole. It breaks down. You can take this pin out here and take that section off. and then the rest of it is collapsible. So it telescopes inside of itself. You'll probably barely ever use this section of it unless you're on 3+ feet of ice, which we have ice years like we've had the last few, that's not in many areas where you're getting that much ice unless you're up in Canada or the very, very northern parts of the United States that get really cold. It's an all aluminum tripod on here. So this is all aluminum. The top here is aluminum. And then this is a plastic handle that is on it, just so you don't freeze your hand off. One other thing that I want to talk about is, so this is the shuttle that we were talking about yesterday. This is their new live imaging shuttle. I have a zoomed in picture here because I wanted to tell you a little bit about it. I asked them specifically, why did you do this with the USB port and the 12-volt power plugs down at the bottom? And the answer from the guy that actually created the shuttle and worked with all the teams to make this come to life said that the way that they have the battery designed in here, access for the battery, they needed a wide enough space that wasn't going to interfere with that. And so they had to shift them to the sides. And so that meant that they couldn't be right here in the middle, and they had to be the sides. So they couldn't be up top here. They had to be on the sides, and then you just had to kind of choose which ones you wanted on the top. I did also ask about the flap here, the clear cover that goes over the power button. They said that before they had a rocker switch, it was getting bumped. And so they said, if we want to not have it be bumped, we're going to move to push button. And while we're at it, we're going to throw the cover over it. The cover is not for waterproofing. So I imagine if you don't like the cover, you can always rip it off, but you're probably not going to be pushing that button very often. This is USB ports here, and you do have a voltmeter there, SAE charging port, and 12 volt there as well. So the other thing I wanted to say is on the side of the shuttle. So this is where it gets really cool. You'll see these 4 holes. He told me, he's like, do you realize why those are there? And I was like, no. These 4 holes are on the side because their clam lock pucks actually screw into these. So you can now use a rod holder. You could put a cup holder there. You could put a phone holder, like depending on how high you have it off the ice, like if you have it in a bucket or something, or it's an accessory that moves up. This is, you could put a clam lock here and a clam lock here and have 2 accessories. You could put one in the middle. You could put just one in the front or in the back. And it's on both sides of it. So you could put rod holders on the side. There's a ton of different things that you can do. And as they expand their assortment of clam lock accessories, of course, you've got that capability, which I thought was freaking awesome. So high five to them on doing that. Oh, this picture right here shows a little bit of, it says 12 point something. You can see the voltmeter reading directly through that. One other thing that they're coming out with this year are these neoprene covers for your transducer, your live imaging transducer. I love these. I don't obviously have any from Clam, but I bought mine. I think the brand is called Net Buddy, which I really like. And if these are the same as those, which I believe they are, these are going to be awesome too, and probably a little bit of a cheaper price. Okay, one other thing I wanted to give a little bit of clarification on as well. So we talked about the heaters from Clam yesterday. And I know I'm referring a lot to yesterday's video. So if you haven't seen it, please go check it out after this video is over, and you will be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. But Clam released actually 3 heaters. They have a small one, a medium one, and a large one, just to compete in the space here. This is not a retractable handle. It does not collapse down. The one that I was working with yesterday in New Product Showcase did collapse down. That is not supposed to do that, evidently. So just so you know, this is supposed to be a fixed up handle. So FYI, it's not supposed to fall down. So it kind of alleviates what I was saying around it going up and down. This would probably break. Well, it's not intended to, and this one did not. So FYI. One other really cool feature from Clam this year is you've probably seen rod holders inside of shelters before, whether it's a flip over or a hub style shelter. They've all got these little like sleeve things for you to put the butt of your rod in, and then they call them rod holders. Well, Clam improved them. I've never seen anybody do this, and this is genius, and it's super simple. Is they put these little clips here, so you put the butt of your rod in there, and then you put the blank of your rod, so your rod seat, the handle goes in here, and then you just slide it across there, so that way it's not all flapping around. it actually is up against the wall. How smart is that? So anyways, they've got this product. This is the flip over, the new one this year. And then they've got the hub this year that will have this as well. And I'm assuming moving forward, we're going to start seeing this in all of their products. So pretty freaking awesome. This is the Ranger XT Thermal. So this is the flip over that we talked about yesterday, part of the Folds of Honor series. One thing I did want to call out that is interesting here is it does say, in terms of accessories that you get, travel cover, battery bracket, dimmable light sticks. Those were all there today. It's confirmed. I believe it's confirmed that they're going to be in it. Center console is on this sheet, but it is not in the actual show product, and it is not in the catalog that I have. So I don't know if this was a late add to add the center console in it. I'm thinking not, because it wasn't in the demo unit that they had out there. You would think that they'd be bragging about that. My guess is this is not going to be included in it, and so this shouldn't be here. So I don't want you to think that you're going to get it and not get it, but that is one other call out that I wanted to call out. Sean and Cora, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate you. All right, that might be the end of the list that I have tonight. We've been live already for 37 minutes. Let me know down in the comments, is there any other products from ICAST that you want to see? Again, I only saw a quarter of the show floor today. A ton of stuff that I don't even have in here. Just been trying to get all the footage off of my camera, everything charged up for tomorrow. I've got 3/4 of the show floor to cover tomorrow. Today, I had some longer conversations with a few different brands, in addition to, I don't know what language that is, so hopefully you can either put that in English. Otherwise, I don't know if I can help you there, buddy. Whoever just commented in the chat. But let me know if there's any other products that you want to see from ICAST or brands you want me to talk to. I'm more than happy to. I will be here until late tomorrow. Then I'm flying home about midnight tomorrow night. And then we'll have a ton of videos coming out on the channel of all these clips that I'm filming. So thank you all so much. Thank you for all the members on the channel. If you're interested in joining, we have exclusive this week while I'm at ICAST. I'm doing morning streams with them, just kind of as a bonus. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be covering some of the other Clam products that haven't been announced yet, because that's pretty freaking cool, and things that are out there that we know about. Of course, all of it's going to come to the whole channel. They just get a little bit of early access while I'm kind of fumbling around and getting everything pulled together. But it's just a couple bucks a month, and it helps me not have to take sponsorships by any of these brands. So thank you all so much. And if you want to help out the channel, hit that like button if you get value out of these videos. Let me know in the comments that you want me to keep it going, and I for sure will. And share the stream. Share these videos. It really helps out. Thank you all so much. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your week. Tight lines, and we'll talk to you soon, probably tomorrow if I can get on here before I have to be at the airport. So talk to you later for sure in the next couple of days. Take